Well, joining us now to discuss World Food Day and the availability of food as well as pricing is Senator Sabi Abdullahi, the Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security. Honorable Minister, thank you so much for making it to the studio tonight.
Thank you very much for having me, and it's a pleasure to say good evening to Nigerians.
Great. As the world marks World Food Day, Nigeria is recording some cheery news, some positive in statistics. Headline inflation at 18%, food inflation down to 16.8%, the lowest in over 3 years. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yet, you heard Nigerians in the markets today talking about prices of food, mixed reactions. So, Minister, how do you reconcile the figures coming out from NBS and the realities of Nigerians in the markets? What is missing?
Well, thank you very much. Definitely, like you said, in life itself, it's a mixed bag. And no matter what you do, definitely you will get some people telling you is the good, the bad, and the ugly. But for us, in the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, very much stimulated and inspired by the vision of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we realized, yes, food security situation is a very serious one. And that was why the president declared a state of emergency. And we're still in that state of emergency that he has declared. And so our strategies are first to ramp up production, which we started with the dry season farming of 2023. And of course, we have refined that to further say that we are no longer looking at dry season, wet season. We are looking at all year round farming as a strategy. And the whole essence is for us to focus on producing more of the staple foods that Nigerians are consuming. And that's why with the pronouncement of the Nigerian First policy, which is an economy-wide policy, generally a whole of government policy, we in the Federal Ministry of Agriculture have, mirrored down this policy to say, let's produce what we eat and consume what we produce. Meaning the diversity of Nigerian food is so huge that if we focus on producing them, different areas of this country have different priorities in terms of what their food staples are. And recognizing that, we are making all efforts to ensure that all of these foods are getting the right attention. And generally speaking, what exactly are the problems?
Great.
And I think the problems are not far-fetched. They are very clear to us. It's a matter of low yield by our various farmers, because we have compared the average yield in the country to even the African average or even the global average. And therefore, when you juxtapose this with what our researchers are telling us about each of the commodities, we know for a fact that our farmers are not getting the right yield. And so our effort is how do we help them to achieve maximum yield.
So is that as a result of the seeds that we have?
It's as a result of so many things.
Soil, what's going on?
It's as a result of so many things, and those are the things I want to distill out to you now.
Okay.
Now, one of the reasons is the poor seed. And before now, when we came on board, the food seed system was actually comatose. Usually, you are supposed to have a planning section where you sit down and look at the demand for a particular commodity in terms of the seed requirement. And then the researchers will go in to produce the improved breeder seed, which will now go to the second stage, which is the foundation stage. And then you will now take that one and give it to those who are planting the seed entrepreneurs so that they give you the certified seed which farmers are able to plant. That process collapsed, but we have brought it back. And it is now helping us to achieve the kind of success that has been reported in the annual performance survey that was just recently released by one of our agencies. The second aspect is low mechanization. And we are tackling that by providing various forms of smallholder mechanization, tillers, machines, and all the other small machineries. Now, the same way we are also looking at the tractorization, which we now have 2,000 tractors waiting for the program that we lead to their own distribution for utilization by farmers. At least we are targeting the next production cycle. Now, the other aspect is post-harvest losses.
Yes, because I was going to come to that. On the one hand, there's the argument that we do not even produce enough to eat. On the other hand, is that we produce, but we don't process enough. And over 40% of what we grow is wasted.
Yeah.
Poor storage, transportation, and of course lack of processing. So what are you doing in that stead?
We are doing so much as far as this is concerned, and the machineries we are providing, small scale machineries to various farmers, is to support them in the processing. And you see, for the aspect of some of the commodities like tomatoes, onions, and the like, there are different, the perishables. We are having different processing methods, and through the Department of Nutrition and Food Safety, we are helping a lot for our farmers to be able to produce this nutrient-dense, food that will be kept for utilization in lean period. Now, one of the other aspects is that if you look at our soils, many instances we talk about high input for production. And it is the high input for production that makes farmers to say, look, I've spent so XX money, and now the prices is low, I'm not able to recoup to be able to buy.
Okay.
So to caution that effect, we have introduced the Farmer Soil Health Scheme, which is designed to help farmers know exactly the status of their soil in terms of the kind of crop they should be planting there, in terms of the nutrient deficiency, which will require fertilization, and what type of fertilizers they have to apply. So we are doing quite a lot.
And is this just at the federal level? Because when you even look at the figures from the NBS, some states are doing very poorly. They still have over 25% food inflation. So are there measures you're putting in place to help close the gap?
No, some of these issues are matters of transportation. They are matters outside the agricultural cycle itself. Because you see, earlier on you talked about a food system.
Yes.
There is no way, when you look at our production, the bulk of the food are produced in certain centers, and they have to be transported to another high consumption centers. The transportation cost, all the challenges that these transporters and marketers face are issues that have allowed these prices to go up. Now, one of the things we have done in intervening in the logistic area, and I think I was in this studio where I spoke about that, to say that at the Federal Executive Council level, Mr. President has approved a committee which is chaired by my colleague, Senator Abubakar Kyari, to look at how we are going to help those who are transporting agricultural foods to have easy passage, reducing the cost. And we've done a study, spot studies, to show how much farmers are spending, or that the marketers are spending, when they take a produce, for example, from Kano, or from Jos, or from Adama, or Bauchi, or Gombe, and they are taking it down south, for example, how much they spend. That itself is passed on to consumers.
Okay.
So we are making effort to see that all of these things is actually nailed out, so that the price of food will still be affordable. Because right now, there is no market in Nigeria you will go to and you will say there is no food. The only thing you will talk about is maybe affordability.
It is too expensive for the people.
Affordability is a much more bigger macroeconomic issues beyond what we are doing. But the areas where we think we can intervene are the ones I have mentioned here.
Okay.
If farmers are also supported to have low production cost, then even they themselves will be charging a fair price that will not be too expensive. And then we are also working on our storage, both at the federal level and at the state level. The various state governments are also doing buffer stock storage. But most importantly, we are promoting the special agro-processing zones, which have kickstarted in Kaduna and Abeokuta, and all of this will be off-takers of many of these commodities that will reduce the post-harvest losses. Senator
Abdullahi, just as I let you go, assurances that as we enter the Yuletide season, Nigerians will get affordable foods and they will be available, and that this MBS statistics is not a fluke. Also, if you can clarify why there are concerns that imported foods are cheaper than the ones we're growing here, and the issue of smuggling that farmers are complaining about.
Well, one thing you need to understand is that the economy of production in different countries are different. The infrastructure and the support system that promotes their own production, they have advanced infrastructures, and that's what exactly we are trying to tackle now. And you see, the president is helping to renew the infrastructural deficit of the country. All of these things contribute in the overall cost that farmers incur. Now, at the level of the rural access roads, we are actually stepping up the ramp. That is the Rural Access and Agricultural Marketing Program, which will help farmers to have where to keep their, produce in, good storage, waiting for the next day, rather than allowing it to go perishing. So there is quite a lot of things we are doing to ensure that we support the farmers, the value chain actors, to ensure that food will continue to be available, because it's a matter of sustainability.
Exactly.
It's not just for us to now have a bust and bomb. It's just a matter of having something sustainable in a manner that everybody will be happy that the price of food is affordable within the limit of their own economic, what did they call it?
Thank you.
We are working very hard on that, and I'm sure Xmas is in the corner. By Xmas, I'm sure a lot of our farmers, because if during the lean period we are having prices coming down, you can imagine harvest is going to start.
We'll hold you to your words, Senator Abdullahi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being there. As the World Bank says, floods, insecurity, and climate-related risk also affect our farmers and the food produce. Senator Sabi Abdullahi is the Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security here in Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Thank you.